Okay, 7th grade, I'm going to do a couple examples from lesson 5.2. One example will be an example of a markup, and the second example will be an example of a markdown. A markup is simply a kind of percent increase, and a markdown is simply a kind of percent decrease. So here's example number 1. We'll see an example of a percent markup. So it says a hat that originally cost $18 is being sold at a 15% markup. What is the retail price of the hat? Okay, the retail price is the total price of the hat, including the markup. Okay, so to find the retail price, to find that total price, the retail price is equal to the original cost of the hat in this case, the original cost plus the markup. And the markup is a percentage of the original cost. All right, so the retail price is equal to the original cost, which is $18. That's how much the hat originally cost, 18, plus a percentage of this original cost. The hat is being marked up 15%. So I need to write 15% as a decimal. To do that, I take 15 and divide by 100, because that's how you go from percent to a decimal. So 15% divided by 100 is 0.15. The markup is 15% of the original cost, 15% of the original cost of $18. Okay, so from here I just follow order of operations. I have to multiply first, so I have 18 plus 0.15 times 18 will give me, if I put that in a calculator, it'll give me 2.7. But since I'm talking about money, I need to make sense of that. 2.7 is like 2.70, like $2.70. So I have $18, the original cost of the hat, plus the $2.70 markup price. And if I add these together, 18 plus 270, I will get the retail price. The retail price is $20.70. Okay, so that is the retail price of the hat. That's how much you will pay for the hat if you were to buy that. Okay, so here it is using this equation. I'm also going to show you modeling it with a picture. Okay, so let's say this is the price of the hat. I'll call this H. The price of the hat is shown here. This is my original cost, plus I have a 15% markup, which we said in decimal form, 15% is 0.15. So plus 0.15 times the original cost of the hat, which I'll represent with H. Okay, so if this right here is H, then I can represent 15% of this would look like this. This is 15%. Okay, so if I add this bar plus this bar, I get something that looks like this. I add them together. So I have H, which is the same as 1H, right? 1H or 1 hat, plus 0.15H. Okay, 1H plus 0.15H would be 1.15H, where H is the cost of the hat. This is the cost of the hat. All right, so if I have this expression, I can substitute in the cost for the hat, the cost for H. So this would be equal to 1.15 times H, because that's what this means right here. 1.15H means 1.15 times H, times the cost of the hat, which is $18. Okay, so if I take 1.15 and multiply it by 18, I'm going to get $20.70, 20.7, which means $20.70, which is exactly what we got when we use this equation. Okay, so this is an example of a markup, of the price being marked up. Originally it was 18. A 15% markup means it costs now $20.70. The next example I will do is an example of a markdown or a discount. It says a pair of shoes is being sold for 30% off the original price of $74.99. How much are the shoes being sold for? All right, so the sale price is equal to the original cost of, in this case, the shoes, minus the markdown, which again is a percentage of the original cost. So the sale price is equal to the original cost, which I'm told is $74.99, $74.99. That's the original cost of the shoes, minus the markdown. I'm subtracting because the price is going down. It's 30% off. 30%, to write that as a decimal, I take 30 and divide by 100 to get 0.3 or 0.30. Okay, the markdown is 30% of the original cost of $74.99. Okay, so I follow order of operations. I take $74.99 and I subtract this 0.30 times $74.99, which will give me $22.50. So this tells me the amount that is taken off of the price. If this is the original cost and there's a 30% markdown or a sale for 30% off, that tells me that $22.50 is being taken off of the original price. So if I subtract $74.99 minus $22.50, I will get $52.49. Okay. Now, one thing I want to mention here is that if you put in a calculator, if you take 0.30 and multiply by $74.99, you're going to get 22.497. And so you're going to have to round this because money does not have 3 digits after the decimal. It only has 2. Okay, so you're basically looking at this digit right there. Since that digit is bigger than 5 or bigger, then you're going to round up. So this is closer to 22.50. All right, so I had to round there. So I take my original cost, subtract my markdown price, and I get $52.49 is the sell price of this pair of shoes. Like I did with the markup example, I'm going to show you using a bar model. So if I let this right here equal S, the price of the shoes, and I subtract 0.3S, 30% of the cost of the shoes, let's say it's this, I'm going to take that out of here, okay? So if I have 1S minus 0.30S, 1S minus 0.30S, I will get 0.7S, where S is the cost of the shoes. Okay, so I can plug in the cost of the shoes. I have 0.70 times the cost of the shoes, which is $74.99. $74.99. If you plug that in your calculator, 0.70 times 74.99 is equal to 52.493. So again, I'm going to have to round. Is this closer to 52.49 or 52.50? Well, since 3 is less than 5, I keep it the same. It's 52.49, right? Which is exactly what we got whenever we use this equation. All right. So think about this. If the shoes originally cost $74.99 and you're taking 30% off of the cost of these shoes, that means you're paying for 70%. You're paying for 70% of the original cost, which is what this is saying right here. You're paying for 70% of, which means multiply, 70% of the original cost, which gives us $52.49.